This telecast is copyrighted by Hometown 24 for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Hometown 24 is prohibited.
Brought to you by Double Quick, Keisha Caldwell Bankruptcy Express, Hometown Pharmacy and Hazard, Mountain Health Alliance, TPBT Bancorp, Primary Care Centers, Kentucky Farm Bureau Whitesburg, and Heidi Hoffensberger Law.
And welcome in. It is BT Dub. We are your host. I'm Coach Whitson Lee, and next to me is Heavy D. We in here. We out here, and we're in recovery. Last week, we were at Perry out on 80, and Perry had this huge. It happened off air after we went off air.
Wasn't that big?
Perry had this.
That's the PTSD.
Had this, is it?
Yeah.
Had this whisker biscuit. They had this huge firework. What were we calling it?
It was not. It's a firework tube.
A firework, an artillery tube.
Artillery tube.
Artillery tube. And this man, they played Thunderstruck as they ran out, and I guess this guy was trying to time it. Shout out to shout out to the fireworks guy, the pyro guy.
Artillery tube guy.
This thing went off in the middle of Thunderstruck, and everybody, I hit the ground.
And this was last week in the middle of, of everything. And you hit and everybody there was scared to death. It went off, and everybody, like 3 or 4 people legitimately, hit their knees.
So forgive me if tonight, while the homecoming festivities here in Hyman are happening behind us, if there are any loud noises. Oh, my gosh. And then, but what made it all better.
It was worth it.
Was afterwards.
It was fun.
If you've never been to Hazard Applebee's.
That was an experience.
On a Friday night, I highly recommend.
Yeah, and you guys got to experience eating out with me. It's I was like, no, we're just going to sit over here. This
highly recommend.
Yeah, it was great. Great food, great times, great folks.
Which kicks us off into good vibes. Kentucky won last week. Cat Talk is what's coming up. And Jeremiah, be prepared because we have a new segment tonight. I hate to keep doing this to you. I'm sorry.
Hurry and make the graphic.
Hurry it up. Cat Talk. Put the cat head up there. Give us a meow.
I already made the noise.
What is the noise?
Wow. It's like that.
Are we, okay, that's your first opinion. Are we meow meow or?
This week we're like when the cat's begging for food.
Like a disturbed cat?
Yeah.
Disturbed? What would you describe that?
Wow. You get it?
Disturbed.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, we're there.
So the Cats won last week, and it wasn't necessarily convincing fashion. We played East Michigan, who, little scrappy team, I guess you could call them.
They played with us for a little bit.
They did, and me and you were actually texting back and forth, and you were like, dude, we suck.
It's like, we might stink, actually.
I was like, yeah, it's bad. Well, then we pulled away, and offensively, I will say that I thought we looked better. Everybody seemed the crowd was pleased with Cutter Bowley. What's your, Bowley, he threw the ball, And I think I think that's what people wanted. I think Calzada was safe with the football. Calzone was safe with the football, and I think Cutter just let it loose. And I think that's what fans wanted. And granted, he had guys like Caddis, is that his name? Big bodies that made plays on the ball.
And the receivers.
I love Law. Yeah, guys like Law, guys like Caddis, guys like, who made great plays on the football as it was thrown by Cutter Boley. And McCown, he ran like a freight train. He really reminds me a lot in the way that he runs a Pacheco. We mentioned Pacheco. Oh, my God! Were you not going to tell me?
No. I was informed not to tell you. I was informed not to tell you.
I'm not going to wipe that off my face. I'm leaving it.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm not going to wipe that off my face. Vance Hurley, coach.
That was disgusting.
Line coach here at Knott County Central, who, by the way, we will get to. They have made school history at 4-0, trying to make it the Big Five for
Can I tell you what I think's happening right now?
tonight. Sure.
I think you are avoiding your father's notes missing from action.
I just mentioned a few of them. Dad, you had your notes, and I liked the notes, and I loved the notes, and I took in the notes, and I left them in the car.
And we were here early, and he left them in the car.
I did. I got to talking to people. We had great conversations before this game that we'll get to. But the kicking game is, I can almost tell you to them. I don't have the stats, but kicking game been great for Kentucky. We have some bright spots. Cutter Boley was obviously a bright spot. Receiving core, including tight end, was bright spots for Kentucky. McCown is a bright spot for Kentucky. I love the way the kid runs. We have bright spots, but has your opinion changed on where we stand at the end of the season with those bright spots mentioned?
Let me check my notes. Nope, still suck.
And by the way, while he's being Dusty Downer,
that was rude.
Sorry. We have 24 kids. I do remember this note. We have 24 kids that are from Kentucky on the Kentucky football team. So if we are looking for something in case this gets miserable, which I think we have a lot to be happy about. I think we have some things to be okay about from last week.
We'll be fine.
I think South Carolina, do you think, which takes us to, are we going to lose in the bye week?
If anybody gets healthy, that's the only way you win in the bye week.
So winning in the bye week, and next week we go to South Carolina, which now everybody's looking at their scores with Vandy killed them last week, and then they play a really tough Missouri team tomorrow, I believe, at Missouri. How does South Carolina come into this game, and can we play with them?
Well, it depends on which Kentucky team shows up. Like, I don't think the quarterback was like why we just won that game all of a sudden. Like, the receivers were catching the ball, we were playing a little bit better, and Eastern Michigan's trash. We're not playing against South Carolina, so I don't think we know.
And it didn't feel like, to be fair, also, if we can, it's like me and a coach had this conversation this week concerning like other sports, but if you stop giving teams other opportunities and you stop hurting yourself, Kentucky is this team that obviously we're not going to overwhelm anybody.
Always, right? We're always that team.
So, like, the goal is to not have dumb penalties and not do dumb stuff that gets you in situations that you lose. And so I think if we can go to South Carolina, we can go to Columbia and limit those mistakes, we can play with them.
Yeah, I think the game's going to be. I think the game's going to be good. I would be surprised if we beat South Carolina, though.
Here we go. I'm alive.
You got them?
7 of 12 completions were over 20 yards last weekend, and that never happens for a Kentucky team. It feels like every once in a while, when we had Levis, we were free to take a shot every once in a while.
Yeah.
But in the times you think about Terry Wilson, you think about even you go back to, I love that team that we had to run Lynn Bowden in the Wildcat. But, the Kentucky teams that couldn't afford to take shots, limit the other mistakes and afford yourself some shots. And maybe this team can do that.
Trying to prove himself. You know what I mean? Wants people to know his name, so he's throwing the ball. And here we are talking about him.
Here we go. And he is a Kentucky boy, which you got to love about him. And I'm here for it. You know what? I'm going to cheer for him.
Well, I'm going to cheer for him. Still think we're going to lose.
I love you, Dad. We got to your notes. All right. Right on time, 6:40. Jeremiah, we are moving to
Right on time.
We talk more about the South Carolina matchup next week in our Cat Talk. We got some time as homecoming here. Congrats to all of our homecoming people here as that ceremony starts to begin here behind us. You can hear like the soft golf claps. Yeah. Which takes us to Friday rerun, the week that was in KHSAA football in the surrounding area. And we started with the game that we were at last week.
What was my pick in this game? Letcher 36.
But I think we both agreed in kind of watching on Hometown 24 as we were rolling away and listening on the radio, 0 sacks and 0 turnovers last week against Eastern Michigan, too. I won't forget that one, Dad. I got to move on.
I can't believe
Good
we're back
stuff.
to it.
There we go. Sorry. But I think it's fair to say the Letcher Perry was close for – it's fair to say it was close.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe in my mind it was closer than
It's 36-20, but it's garbage time. The 36 was in garbage time sometime.
Perry did what I thought they should do to try to win this game.
Yeah.
And they ran the football and they're greedy. And I didn't realize this until I was on the way home and we were listening on the radio is that they're young.
Oh, yeah.
I think Perry's going to be very good down the road.
Well, you said they only had a couple seniors, right?
Yes, and most of their top contributors, like running the football, throwing the football, catching the football, specialty players especially, are the guys making plays for Perry are younger guys for the most part.
Awesome.
And I feel like they're going to be good in a couple of years if Coach Mark Dixon keep this core together. But I think it was a lot of the same for Letcher on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and Letcher's a little bit that way too. Like, quarterback's not a senior. It's a lot of the players on the line are not the seniors.
Right. Garrett and guys like Mason Stevens and Jed Outlaw,
Yeah.
they've got a great young core of specialty players.
Yeah, and they got a lot of up-and-coming guys too.
Yeah, so, what a matchup to look out for the next couple of years in that Letcher Perry. That'll be something to watch over the next few years. We'll talk about the stats behind that one coming up, which takes us to the next one that was a stat stuffer, was Hazard. Finally playing at home with the new sort of stadium and seats under Coach Matt Chandler and coming off a tough loss at Prestonsburg. They absolutely take care of business. And what my friend and colleague, Coach Casey Huff, called a absolute blast to watch, Hazard defeats Breathitt 49-21.
Yeah, it was awesome. I listened to a little bit of that game. I didn't watch it, but I listened to a little bit of it.
And another one that me and you both – well, actually, you took Breathitt.
Yeah, I did take Breathitt, but that was a momentary lapse of judgment.
And to be fair to you, we have heard that there were a couple injuries possibly in that game.
Yeah. And that's
maybe.
That's what I knew about. If there were injuries, we're not totally sure.
Oh, you knew that would happen.
But those are there.
Just say you were wrong.
I won't. It was your fault, actually.
Leslie dropped. We look for Breathitt to try to rebound this week at home against a good Letcher team. More coming up about that. Leslie, was kind of no surprise to us, but Leslie, scrappy, playing hard. I think they looked to score. I like this as they played to the final whistle and scored at the end of this one. And I think they can carry that momentum into this week to potentially win. We'll talk about that matchup coming up in a winnable game for Leslie. But Leslie drops at Marlboro 38-6.
I just read the notes. It was 38-6. Way to go, Marlboro, for letting them score at the end. No, I'm just saying it's good. Got to show some effort at the end. Leave on a high note that you scored.
And you got Eastridge coming to Hyden tonight. So I think that's winnable game. A good opportunity for the Eagles. And Middlesboro is a very good football team, as made obvious by their scores. All right, and then finally, give us the last one.
Knott gets revenge 39-13. A lot of 30 scores.
A lot of points scored. You know, we've kind of seen that in the NFL with the new kickoff. I mean, there's not going on in high school, football.
The high scores, though.
Just a lot of high scores. Not revenge game 39-13 because last year, of course, Betsy Lane had a great football team and kind of rolled Knott in the playoffs when Knott had such a competitive year. And I think it's obvious that Knott treated that as a revenge game.
And they felt like they knew. And, man, they're playing lights out.
And we'll break those stats down later also in the show. And don't call me out. Also in the show, they played good on both sides of the ball, Knott did, and took care of business 39-13.
No, they did. They did play. Not.
Knott?
You said
Knott? Or they
not did.
Who's?
On first.
Yeah. No, it's not. Which takes us moving on.
The show's on here.
Yeah, just get it out. Oh, man. We're actually we're 1 minute behind. I'm moving on. Jeremiah, touchdown rundown. We're going to break down some of those stats for you from those high 30 scoring games. And even the low scoring games. We're going to catch you up on the touchdowns from around the local coverage area. Heavy D is going to kick us off.
Now, Connor Napier, 2 touchdowns passing.
Bryson Everidge with 1 rushing.
Zeke Hurley had a rushing.
Michael Gibson had 2 receiving and had 125 yards receiving.
That's pretty nuts. Chance Ambergy, pick 6.
Our favorite.
It's the best one.
But now we may have a new favorite because we have a new form of touchdown.
Rumbling, bumbling, fumbling.
Brody Short had our first fumble-bumble recovery touchdown. A fumble recovery for a touchdown for the Pats last week, which is testament to that effort on both sides of the ball for the Pats. All right. Why can't I talk?
I don't know what's going on with you, but Gunnar Holbrook threw for 4 touchdowns. We said he might throw for 2.
And he may throw for more than 4 tonight.
Ooh, baby.
Garrett Howard, also 1 rushing, no surprise there.
Mason Stevens caught 2.
Which I'm going to mention because I believe he also caught for over 100 yards. And we called that last week in pregame, is that Mason Stevens was sort of due. I saw him in pregame warm-ups there a couple weeks ago and thought the kid looked great. And he got it done last week against Perry. Be interesting to see what he does tonight against Breathitt.
Mason Stevens, did I say that?
No, you said Mason Stevens.
Okay. And Colton Stidham caught a touchdown.
Colton Stidham with the touchdown, a new name to the list there. Jet Outlaw also.
Is that Jet Outlaw's first touchdown?
I think he has scored previously in the season.
Yeah, he scored.
But both him and Mason sort of, they needed those last week to get that momentum going into this week.
Yeah.
So I think it'll continue. And moving on to the Doors, Caden Gibson with 1 rushing touchdown last week in that matchup against the Cougs.
Keegan Cecil, 2 first name, 1 rushing touchdowns.
And Josh Miller.
I like that name, too.
I do, too. Pick 6 touchdown.
To the house. Caden Hubbard had a rushing touchdown.
And this is obviously there's the 1 lone touchdown, I believe, for the Eagles last week. Nice. There as time was winding out at Middlesboro. William Shoptaw, who is a name that we keep mentioning, and that what I imagine will keep happening for the rest of the season, had 4 throwing, but get this, 302 yards passing.
College numbers.
Absolutely.
Shoptaw.
This next one's yours.
Cameron Miller, the 161 yards. That's a lot of running. 3 touchdowns. And he's a freshman.
I love it. And we talked about this in the car the way over, is Hazard's got a lot of young guys that are returning for next year. It's going to be something to think about as this season winds on. And one of those names that you're going to keep hearing over and over is Shoptop's favorite target is Gavin Johnson, who had 13 catches. 13 catches.
Does this mean they had 600 yards of offense?
I guess. 156 yards catching. I mean, just go off, young men. But he had 1 receiving touchdown in that great effort last week against the Bobcats at home.
And 101 yards from Connor Holbrook, who had 2 more receiving yards. So it's 101 yards, 156 yards, 161 yards, 302 yards.
Which is crazy what the Dogs were able to do last week. Also, Corbin Fletcher got on the board with 1 receiving.
I feel like I have to say it because I keep talking about kickers.
I want you to.
7 of 7 on extra points. Toe would be a very happy man, Max Kilburn.
And you witness this in high school athletics all the time. You see it in the NFL. Of course, the NFL scooted it back some. What happened to somebody
Kid
fall?
wiped out, man. I couldn't help it. I tried not to laugh.
I missed it. Things are going on behind me. Still kind of weirded out. I'm not weirded out at all, but Vance's sticky is still on my face.
Oh, gross.
That's
Come
that's a
on.
really gross way to word that. Max Kilburn was 7 for
say that.
7. Shout out to the kickers. We got you, Max.
Kickers, baby. It's the age of the kickers.
Which, in wrapping things up, the Breathitt County Bobcats last week, Miles Turner had 1 throwing. They just announced the queen. We'll get her name coming up very shortly. Everybody, the crowd goes wild. I'm very excited here in Hyman. Miles Turner, 1 throwing last week.
Eli Thomas had a rushing.
Running back for the Bobcats. Braden Barnett had 1 rushing.
John Holland had a receiving.
So that wraps up our local coverage area touchdowns. And if we miss one, by all means, let us know. But those touchdown rundowns from the week, which makes us so excited, again, right on time, to move on to our not newest segment. This is now an old segment. As the boys walk in, Coach Brian Johnson,
comparatively,
Coach
it's an old
Blair.
segment.
Look at Coach Matus Blair's with the high step stomp as he walks in. But tackle box is now kind of new, not new segment concerning the highest tacklers or highest.
It's not a fishing segment.
It's not a fishing segment. Why can't I talk? The most tackles around the coverage area from last week.
You are really struggling.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I had 2 coffees today.
That's what's wrong.
I should be fine.
You want me to just start this?
Yes,
and
please.
talk about these 20. I'm not saying the F word that you wrote here.
This is freaking.
See, I'm not saying that word. 20 tackles.
Oh.
Bryson Average.
And
Man, I
then
won't say your word.
Yeah, thank you. That's the most tackles on the week for our tackle box. Mason Burnett, 14 tackles.
Jay Sandbergy, 13 tackles.
And Michael Gibson, who also had a pick in this game and also plays well offensively.
He had 125 offensive yards also.
For the Pats. I guess if we had to give a player of the game
crazy.
from this revenge game last week against Betsy Lane, it is Mikey Gibson. He had 9 tackles along with what he did offensively last week for the Pats.
He was wore out.
Oh,
The
I
kid
bet he
was exhausted.
after a game, after a game when I was in high school, I'd go home and try to was cramping up.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Gibson cramped up when he got home.
Yeah, he was sore.
I hope you drank Gatorade. Pickle juice.
We're sponsoring Gatorade or something.
No.
I know. It's like you said. It's you drink your
Electrolytes?
electrolytes. It's better than water.
On the board for the Cougs in the tackle box with 15 tackles. That's no shocker there.
Tackles are nuts. Colton Stidham had 9 tackles too.
And that goes without saying what Garrett Howard does on the as they take on the Bobcats down on the riverbanks. Tyler Robinson had 10 tackles.
Caleb Miller had 9.
Braden Holland had 8 tackles.
This is the wrong order because you got to do this next one.
Lumadou.
Lemadou.
I love this name. Buddy Daniel Day for trying to guide me today on correct pronunciations. But Lumadou, I've had recovery last week and insider information. This may explain a lot, it may not.
Matter.
Listen, kid, it's cool to switch teams. Joey B's hurt. I'm switching teams. I'm making this announcement right now. Justin Herbert, and not because he dates Madison Beer, Whitney. Justin Herbert, the man.
Your dad and your wife are both mad at you.
Everybody's mad at me. I think I patched things with my dad. I think we're fine.
Race Linden had 15 tackles.
Gavin Johnson for the Dogs offensively.
Crazy.
He had 14 tackles.
Exhausted kid. Tanner Goins had 12 tackles.
Titus.
Gannon Mullins with 9.
Which wraps up our tackle box for the week. And I think we're going to take, I think they tried to get on to me for not taking a mini break. I'm taking, when we get back, we have brand new segment. Heavy's Hogs. Do you like this name?
Yeah, I love it.
Out. The linemen, the unsung heroes, the guys that never get the shout out. They do it all. And they don't show trenches. You're going to get a shout out, a few of you, when we get back at BT Dub. Heavy's Hogs.
This is News 12.
Has been serving this community with local programming produced by local people.
Using the latest video technology to bring you the news, sports, and local events that matter to you.
First on your hometown news tonight.
I'm Harold Mullins, and thanks for joining us.
40 years is a long time.
Great communities attract talented people to live, work, and raise their families. We're broadband, so our friends, families, and neighbors can live rich lives in smart rural communities. Is our community. We're your rural broadband partners. You do great things. We make great things possible.
We back. BT Dub. Heavy's Hogs. We ready for Heavy's Hogs?
I'm ready. I'm so
Heavy's
ready.
Hogs.
Sorry. Delete that. Delete that.
No. That's staying. Don't delete that. So we lineman, right? You get no. Don't do that.
Sorry.
You get no love from the media. You get no love from anybody. So we're trying to change that, okay? Because those numbers are unseen. They're actually unkept. So we have to.
This is too. Scheffler Intel.
Just to be honest with you, nobody keeps those stats but us. So from Knott, we had some dudes I want to shout out. And coming back from injury, big
and
kid.
So important to what Knott County is going to carry into the rest of the year and this momentum and starting 4-0 and making school history.
Is he a senior?
It's got to get a shout out. I have no idea.
Okay, awesome. Ethan Collins, and he play guard, I think, because he's a smaller dude.
Small but mighty.
Small but mighty. And then Jace Ambergy, which is another big kid.
Big energy, workhorse for the Pats, getting it done in the trenches. And, of course, we're going to shout out Zeke Hurley later, who plays on the defensive line, defensive end. He did some things we're going to give a shout-out to statistically in our primetime preview that's coming up. But you also have a few more names.
There's been a team that their offensive line has been protecting like crazy this year. What lineman to give a shout-out to? They all said the whole line, the big blue wall. They've only allowed 4 sacks all year, which is crazy since their quarterback is Gavin Martin, Jack Mead, Steve Bingham, Luke Young, Hayden Antonio.
I love it.
Their quarterback's calling them the big blue wall.
Do they wear blue? Does Letcher say big black wall?
Nope.
Big blue wall.
Well, yeah, it's BB Dub.
I don't think we could say BB Dub.
Well, that's big black wall.
Well, it's also big blue wall, and I don't think we could say it because I know what else it stands for. My dad confirms that he is upset. Me.
Yeah. Mother loves you, dad loves you conditionally. Remember that, kids. So that's it this week for Heavy's Hogs.
I love you guys.
love the lineman. Obviously, true to my heart.
Brady Kennedy suggests that he is not mad at me because he loves Madison beer. Max Kilburn was 7 of 7 last week. He kicked the snot out of it. Snot.
It's not. It's not a kick.
He was 7 for 7 for PAT, Brady. What else would you want, Max?
Super impressive, just to be honest.
You got Max. You got Madison. Shout out kickers. Shout out Herbie. We're moving on.
Man, it's the year of the kickers. You know that.
I know.
They're up
mentioning
number 1 in the nation.
We're continuing this, BK. Maybe it's Kennedy's Kickers from now on in a special segment that we shout out the kickers.
I think you should talk to the production team before you just start coming up with segments every 5 minutes.
I can do what I want. I do what I want on this show, Josh Cornett. I do what I want. You're not going to stop me.
Oh, I do what I'm told.
I almost mentioned the FCC. You won't shut me down, Josh Cornett.
It's tough. Don't do that.
Okay. I do want to shout out Isaiah Kaiser. He is ranked the number 1 kicker in middle school football nationally. I don't know what poll that is. I don't know. It's an AP. I don't know.
It's pretty cool and needs to be talked about. It's pretty cool.
And me and Heavy, he kicks the snot out of it.
He does. He does. And, hope to see him play D1.
It's possible. All right. Right on time as we move along to.
Perfect.
I'm obsessed with this now that I look at this list. Is primetime preview.
Previews.
We are here.
I don't know what this graphic looks like.
Yeah, it's not the glitter and the doodle because that's for later in your prophecies. I don't know what primetime preview looks. It's like flashing lights, like cameras.
It's okay.
Hindman, where the Knott County Central Patriots, if you have not heard this, have made history, and they are 4-0 on the 5-0 against the Phelps Hornets, who are 2-1 coming into the week. And we got the breakdown for you for each team. We're not going to make a prediction yet. We're not going to make a.
I thought about it yet.
Oh, Brady, I'm so sorry.
Let that go. What are you doing?
Oh, don't worry about that, Brady.
I don't know what's going on.
Review Phelps. Listen to this score. Did you see this?
Yeah, I don't feel great about it.
Is that real?
I don't think so.
According to KHSAA, Phelps lost their first game to Pineville over the mountain, 40-76.
Like, I don't even understand. They had to score on every play.
Think about that total. I mean, it's a 40 plus 76. What is that?
Did you pick the over? History. Did you pick the over 116 or not? Pick the
116. Nuts. That's probably a record of some sort. Prestonsburg and Betsy Lane had a crazy shootout to start the year too. But at any rate, Phelps lost that one. But then they won 26-10 against Castlewood, Virginia, in the following week, and then won last week. They beat Harlan 40-0, who Knott County also beat in the first week of the season 50-0. So comparable opponent there, comparable scores, 140-0, 150-0. That's the Phelps layout. I'll let you give us a rundown for the Knott scores.
Knott scores are just as crazy. Nothing versus Harlan, which we were here for, right?
We were here for.
We were here for that game. I think we picked it, but 34-0 versus Jackson County.
Yep.
Again, those two scores are crazy. And then 36-30 versus.
Heard the story from Vance Hurley whenever who licked my face earlier. When we got here, is that asked him about the Lynn Camp game because supposedly it was nuts, and he said he actually confirmed that, and I think it was beyond nuts. He said the clock was running. They had a completed pass inside the lines. The clock was running out. It was in the 20s or whatever. They were going to have to run up and do something crazy. Time's running out. And I guess in order to had a guy maybe not on the field or
it was going to be offsides. Is the only
maybe
thing I can guess.
offsides or something, that Lynn Camp calls a timeout. Literally with single-digit seconds left, Knott is able to get off 2 plays, an incomplete pass, and then, of course, a complete pass with 1.4 seconds remaining. Like, as the insane game, 36-30 at Lynn Camp. Baby. And then our last score, of course, from last week.
Beat the Betsy Lane.
Pats. They win 39-13 against Betsy Lane. So, I'm just ignoring it now. I'm just going on. For the Knott County Central Patriots and what has been in a story. And then I'm going to get you. We're going to move through this quick. Sourcing typo. Not outscoring opponents in a testament to those crazy 50 Shane Gibson, Bryson Everidge leading this dual rushing attack. Both of them around 30 carries, total on the season. Plus on the year. So this kind of two-headed monster that is the backfield for the Knott County. Both names we mentioned over and over in specialty players in positions for the Pats. Mike Gibson and Chance Ambergy both leading the way in the receiving corps and catching on the year in this 4-0 run. And Connor Napier, we were talking about this with the Cats. It's not like his stats jump out at you on the stat sheet.
Right.
He's just a good kid, good player that takes care of the ball. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception on the year. And you know how important it is for a good team to have a quarterback that takes care of the football.
Just got to win, baby.
And that's what Connor Napier has done so far. Shane Gibson, Brody Short, Noah Stumbo, Zeke Hurley, who is a name that we keep hearing over and over, Mason Burnett, Jay Sandbergy. I mentioned Bryson Everidge a few times, but all these guys over 20 tackles on the year and kind of taking care of business on the defensive side. Bryson Everidge, the anchor in that, with 60 tackles through 4.
Like we said about being sore, 60 tackles through 4 games.
That means you have your head on the swivel and your head on the ball and on a body like side of the game.
Ball hawk, baby.
Picks on the year, and they have 7 picks through these 4 games. They turn teams over. They have 2 forced fumbles. Wally Holland has 2 forced fumbles on the year and 2 recoveries on the year. And, so on paper, they turn you over and then score the football. Brody Short has a fumble recovery for a touchdown, of course, on the year. They've recovered 9. And so, when you take into consideration those picks, maybe they don't recover all these fumbles, but they have picks, they have fumbles. It's over 3 per game that they're turning teams over. It might be a matter of Phelps can take care of the football tonight.
Well, and like you said, they turn the ball over. They get turnovers.
Yes.
And they score off turnovers.
How is it? 6s. Fairly